Hey everybody, this is Edujo and welcome to another video in my series on the Raspberry Pi. So exciting news, we have now here the Raspberry Pi Zero. This is the new Raspberry Pi that just came out last week, and as you can see, if I just put it down there, it is about a third of the size of the Raspberry Pi 2. It's not as powerful as the Raspberry Pi 2, but it is more powerful than the first generation of Raspberry Pis. So you can see it's nice and compact, nice and small. In terms of the Raspberry Pi, what I can tell you off the bat is that with a Raspberry Pi, your micro SD card is spring-loaded to sort of press in and out, whereas with the PIZERO, that is not spring-loaded, so you can only push it in. Not a big deal, but I just thought I'd sort of mention that in passing. Let me just get rid of the Raspberry Pi 2. I'll just put it over there. Okay, so with our PIZERO, I'll just turn this around like that. With a PIZERO, obviously you can see that the GPIO pins needs to be soldered in, which is not a problem. It does operate without it. You've got your micro SD card over here, and you can just in the same way as in my 5th and 6th video, how to sort of download and install the Raspbian software, you can follow the same procedure. But if I just sort of come around here and see if I can go a little bit closer, there we go. Raspbian Jessie has been updated. You can see there it's a new version. I did try it with the old version of Jessie and I did have some problems. It didn't work properly, or it didn't read my keyboard and mouse properly, or whatever that was. And then I also tried the Jessie Lite, which does boot into command line. I wasn't sure if there is actually the normal operating system where you can actually go in and see the menus and stuff like that. I seem to only be able to get into the command line properly, and then Wheezy, I didn't attempt to load that one either, because I saw in the magazine that Jessie was the one that they've been using. So I did not have success with the older version of Jessie, but with this version of Jessie I did have success. So I will tell you all about that in a second. So back to the Raspberry Pi Zero, and over here you can see there's the mini HDMI port. If I just go like that, that's a mini HDMI port. So your normal HDMI, if I just bring that here, this normal HDMI is not going to work. You do need to have the adapter, which, whoops, I'm using my wrong hand here I think. So there's the normal HDMI port, and then you have on the other side you've got the mini HDMI, and that's the one that sort of goes in that way, and then you just sort of plug it in on the other side over there. Then also what you have is your, if I just go in slightly closer, you've got your USB, your micro USB port over there for theoretically to put in your USB hub, and then you can put in a keyboard and mouse and things like that, and your wireless and so on. And then here you have your power, your micro USB power goes in there just to give it a bit of power. And also you need one of these extension cables. That is for your USB. That's the one that's going to go into your normal port over there. And then on the other side you can have your USB hub going in there. What I found was I had some hassles with my normal keyboard and mouse, so I'm using that Bluetooth dongle over there together with my keyboard and built-in mouse pad and mouse, and sort of I'm using that one. I've had more success with that than with my keyboard and mouse. I'm not saying that a normal keyboard and mouse wouldn't work on a USB port. I just struggled with it. So but I had no hassles with that. So that is where we are in terms of the PIZERO. Exciting little device. And what I'm going to do now, I'll just put you on hold for a few seconds while I put everything together, and then I'll start it up. So I'll be back in just a second. Right, I hope that's all done now. So you can see it's starting up over there, and over here I'll just move this to this side. You can see I've got everything set up. I've got my power happening there. I've got my micro USB going in there for my Bluetooth, and then I've got my cable. It is now, I think, booting up into, there we go, there's the mouse, and it's booting. Let me just go back slightly. It's booting into Raspbian Jessie, and I'll just slide my my I'm just changing hands now. I'll just slide that across, and if I just zoom out slightly, there we go, there you can see is my whoops, I need to switch it on. There we go. I think there we go, now my mouse is moving, so I'll just go up to my menu over there. I'll tap on it, and then you can see, I'll just come in a bit closer, so you can see I've got the normal program that you see with Jesse. Programming, what I see that is new is, if I can just go down there, is this Node Red. I don't think it was in the previous version, but I see Node Red has changed, and that's added to this part. I haven't seen any other obvious changes, but I might do a video on what is new in the new update. But the rest is the same. The rest that I've quickly looked at is exactly the same. You've got your LibreOffice, you have your internet over there with your email, the clause mail, which I haven't used yet. You've got your games, Minecraft and Python games, your accessories, and then you've got your help, and so on and so on. So all of that looks exactly the same as before, and on this side as well, it all looks the same. Oh, the time, oh, I don't have the internet on this, so the time is wrong. But yeah, that is cool. That is cool. That is the PIZERO in action, properly sorted, and a very useful little device. A very useful little device. I'll just switch off this and just move out of the way. But yeah, I'm very happy with how things have gone in terms of this version of Jesse. And the only thing I need to look at again is just my USB hub, as well as my USB keyboard and mouse. Like I said, with the keyboard and mouse, that is no hassle whatsoever. So just remember, when you are doing this and it's not working properly, it might not be your keyboard and mouse or your USB hub. It might just be that it doesn't work that well with it. I haven't seen any reviews on it so far, so I'm hoping these things will come out and that everyone will be happy enjoying the PIZERO, by the way, which is only £4. £4, that is brilliant. So I hope to see you in my next video, and happy Raspberry Piing. Have a nice day. Thank you for watching.